Jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil? Well, I should say.
On today's show,
I don't believe I dropped it.
Cultus Lake Water Park's Big Summer.
And I call that sloth.
Trouble with a capital T at Theater Under the Stars.
Already started packing.
Summer camp, why it matters even more than just summer fun for these burn survivors.
65 to 110 feet.
Diving for treasure, where to find a shipwreck off Vancouver Island.
When they think of fossils, they think of dinosaurs.
And later, on Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. See that and more local expression. Welcome to The Express, only on Chat TV. I'm Johanna Ward. To Woody Guthrie's birthday, celebrated at Folk Fest last weekend, to the Burnaby Village Museum's Carousel's Century of Service, to the 100th anniversary of the Titanic. There's been a lot of talk about what happened 100 years ago, especially here at TUTs, where they're dancing to a ditty set in 1912.
And I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for
musicals. The bad guys always win.
Especially in the 2012 season of Theater Under the Stars, where it's a win-win for the performers and audience, having Darren Herbert cast as the leading man.
Jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil? Well, I should say.
So I always ask people about how fun it is to play a character, but you're playing a charming con man who falls in love. That's got to be like the best character to play.
It's one of, yeah. You fall in love with them, but you know they got a tinge to them, and you know I get to manipulate everybody on stage. Hopefully everybody in the audience as well a little bit. But this one is all in good fun.
Frittering away there, noontime, supper time, chore time too. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door packed or the beefsteak pounded.
James Cronk has been the managing producer of TUTs since 2006. He knows why the rapscallions always ramp up the romance on stage.
They get to sing the great lyrics. They get to meet the girl, lose the girl, get the girl back.
Charmer, or Snake Charmer, Darren steals your heart right from the start of The Music Man.
Trouble, you know, is the great start to this piece. It's about Harold Hill, the con man that comes into town, and his whole objective is to swindle the kids. Of course, it all would work fantastic, except like any musical, he falls in love, and that completely spoils his plans.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it.
The Music Man won 5 Tony Awards during its first Broadway run in 1957, including Best Musical. This year's other TUTs production is also a 5-time Tony Award winner.
The Titanic, obviously, the true story in 1912, and then we discovered that Music Man was set in 1912.
National news from this year, 1912. Woodrow Wilson has been elected president and will take office in January.
The two musicals have completely different styles, yet both hold true to the heart of what being a part of TUTs is all about.
Working with this many kids, I don't think I've done that before. And the grown ensemble as well. We got crazy dancers here. We got people who've been at it for quite a while and people who are just starting out. So it's a family, really. It's a whole family, a community of artists here, and it's been great.
Another thing putting a smile on faces, the amazing weather so far this year for this outdoor production.
Well, the Broadway gods are smiling on you with the weather right now, but something cool you're doing this year, rain insurance, just in case one day it rains in Vancouver.
So for $5 a ticket, a guest can buy rain insurance, and then they can transfer their ticket to another night.
Also new this year, cushions for your seat that you can rent. The Museum Under the Stars with artifacts from the last 65 seasons. Yeah, that's right. This is season 66.
An impressive legacy, especially in a town with such heavy theater competition and artsy economical challenges. Then again, TUTs is not your average night at the theater.
We have the best theater in the country as far as I'm concerned, so I think that has a lot to do with our longevity.
As for Darren's first run at the Malkin Bowl in Stanley Park, he's been warned about those infamous raccoons.
I've heard stories of them getting on stage during a show. I would bet them money they wouldn't want to stay very long in this one, though. There's a whole ton of dancing going on, so we'll see how it goes.
As
As you heard, the 66th season of Theater Under the Stars is presenting The Music Man in Titanic, the new musical, on alternating nights here at the Malkin Bowl in Stanley Park. You can also register now at TUTs.ca for their Youth Summer Musical Theater program. Now, camp. Summer camp. It should be a passage for kids, no matter what unfortunate trauma they've been through. You'll hear that firsthand in this next story.
This year I'm planning ahead, so I'm already started packing.
Gerwin looks forward to this week every summer, the week he heads to the BC Professional Firefighter organized burn camp.
Our goal is to show these kids that they're not alone, that they're not the only ones to go through such a horrendous experience of being burned and what they're facing at school. And we've had campers that we've been trying to get to camp for years, and they just hear summer camp and they think it's lame. And once they get there, they keep coming every year. They realize what a great experience it is, and that they get to meet kids that have been there and done that and got through it and get to hear their experiences.
Eric and Gerwin love to reminisce about past camps and look through photos. The next camp will be Gerwin's 6th. Each of these a great chance to relate and share experiences with fellow burn survivors.
The truth is, the journey from being a burn camp victim to a survivor is a hard one. My burns, they're not seen without just looking at me, right? But for other people, obviously it's going to help them a lot, and it helped me a lot too, because I could take my shirt off in public or during swimming and stuff.
This year's camp is shifting to Gambier Island's Camp Latona, and Gerwin can't wait to share some new memories, especially with some of the younger campers.
From the water fights that start off from the day to just the great times we have. It's a burn camp family. We're actually switching places this year, and it doesn't matter where we go. It's still going to be a burn camp family. It's going to be the same way it has been for the last couple of years.
It's so cool to be able to see and hear from them how it's impacted them, and it just pumps us right up and makes us more motivated to keep doing what we're doing, and it tells us that we're on the right track.
Next week, the Express will bring you a day from burn camp. If you want to find out more before then, visit burnfund.org. I'm Paul McClellan in Surrey for the Express.
Next week, we'll spend a day at camp with Gerwin and the other campers. So don't forget the sunscreen. We finally have all this glorious heat here on the mainland. And up next on the Express, we're joining Nicole Fitzgerald in Whistler Village for an idea on how to beat it. So we want to know, what do you have planned?
How does roaring up the rapids of Green River sound? Prepare to get wet. Jet boating in Pemberton is a heart-pounding experience.
Wow, that sounds awesome. So do they have a water pit crew if you fall in? Hey, we're looking forward to seeing that later on today's Express, along with more from TUTs and these stories.
When they think of fossils, they think of dinosaurs.
Quality assured collision road trip, digging deep in Courtney.
65 to 110 feet.
Plus, diving deep near Port Alberni. The Express, only on Shaw TV.
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.
Welcome to the BC Sports Hall of Fame. My name is Jason Beck, and I'm the Hall of Fame's curator. The history of baseball in BC goes back to the gold rush days of the 1850s, when American prospectors brought the game north with them. And today, the game remains strong, with many BC boys on major league clubs. Over the years, the Hall of Fame has inducted many baseball individuals. Bob Brown was known as Mr. Baseball. He actually built Recreation Park, the first enclosed baseball stadium in Vancouver. The Callahan sisters, Helen and Margaret, actually were the basis for A League of Our Own, the film featuring Tom Hanks and Madonna. And then there's Larry Walker, who in 1997 was the National League MVP. Here's an 1890s catcher's mask. Although rudimentary, it did offer a good deal of protection from wayward fastballs. To see and learn more about BC's best from the ball diamond, come visit the BC Sports Hall of Fame today.